Are you over 65 and feeling pressure to find a partner because society says you shouldn't be alone? Today, I'm revealing 9 research-backed reasons why staying single after 65 might be the smartest, healthiest, and most fulfilling choice you'll ever make. And these are truths most people are too afraid to say out loud. And reason number 6? Stanford University researchers found it protects your finances from a threat that affects 1 in 5 seniors in new relationships, costing them an average of $120,000. Helen, a vibrant 68-year-old from Colorado, spent 2 years searching for companionship after her husband passed. She joined dating sites, attended social events, and felt incomplete without a partner. Then she stopped looking entirely and discovered something unexpected. Her life became richer, more peaceful, and more authentically hers than it had been in decades. Reason 1. Complete personal freedom. After 65, personal freedom isn't selfish. It's essential for your well-being. You've spent decades compromising, accommodating, and adjusting your life to fit other people's needs and schedules. Your working years demanded it. Raising a family required it. Now, for perhaps the first time in your adult life, you can wake up each morning and make every single decision based solely on what you want. Research from the University of Michigan's Institute for Social Research shows that older adults who maintain high levels of personal autonomy report significantly better mental health outcomes and higher life satisfaction than those who feel their choices are constrained by relationship obligations. The reality of relationships after 65 is different from romance in your younger years. At this stage, both partners come with established routines, health requirements, dietary restrictions, sleep schedules, and living habits that have been ingrained for decades. Psychologists at Stanford University found that attempting to blend 2 separate lifestyles after age 65 creates chronic daily stress that accumulates over time. One person is an early riser who enjoys quiet mornings. The other stays up late watching television. One person keeps the house warm. The other prefers it cool. These aren't trivial differences. They're fundamental to your daily comfort and health management. The constant negotiation and compromise required in a new relationship can erode your quality of life in ways you don't even notice until you're exhausted and resentful. Your home is your sanctuary, and it should reflect exactly what makes you comfortable and happy. You can eat dinner at 4 p.m. or 9 p.m. You can keep your thermostat at whatever temperature you prefer. You can watch your favorite shows without anyone complaining. You can pursue hobbies that take up space without apologizing. You can maintain friendships without checking with anyone first. Gerald, 71, from Maine, ended a year-long relationship when he realized he'd stopped doing his morning woodworking because his girlfriend thought the noise was annoying. He'd given up the activity that brought him the most joy, and his mental health suffered for it. Embrace this freedom starting today. Make a list of everything you love about your current lifestyle, the things you'd have to negotiate or give up in a relationship. Protect these aspects of your life fiercely. This isn't the time in your life to shrink yourself to fit someone else's expectations. Your independence is precious. Guard it carefully. Reason 2. Protection from financial exploitation. Financial abuse in senior relationships is far more common than most people realize. The Stanford Center on Longevity reports that financial exploitation is one of the fastest growing crimes against older Americans, and romantic partners or new spouses are responsible for a significant portion of these cases. After 65, you've accumulated savings, home equity, retirement accounts, and other assets that took a lifetime to build. A new romantic partner can access and deplete these resources faster than you'd think possible. And by the time you realize what's happening, the damage is often irreversible. The statistics are sobering and real. Research published in the Journal of Elder Abuse and Neglect found that seniors who enter new romantic relationships after age 65 face substantial financial risks that younger couples don't encounter. These include pressure to add a partner's name to property titles, requests for loans that are never repaid, coercion to change beneficiaries on life insurance policies, and manipulation to provide access to bank accounts. The study found that victims lose an average of $120,000 before they recognize the abuse, and many never recover these funds. Even well-intentioned relationships can create financial complications when health issues arise and medical bills accumulate. When you're single, every financial decision is yours alone. You decide how to spend your retirement income. You control who inherits your estate. You protect your resources for your own care needs or to leave to your children and grandchildren. There's no pressure to help someone else pay their bills, no requests to borrow money, and no one subtly suggesting that sharing finances is what committed couples do. Vivian, 69, from Texas, dated someone for 8 months who gradually borrowed $47,000 from her for various emergencies. When she finally asked for repayment, he disappeared completely. She lost money she'd saved for her grandchildren's education. Protect what you've worked for by staying financially independent. If friends or family pressure you to date, remind them that your financial security is more important than having a companion. Your money represents decades of work and sacrifice. Don't risk it for companionship you can find in safer ways through friendships and community involvement. Secure your financial future today by keeping it entirely under your control. Reason 3. Lower stress and better health relationships require emotional energy, and after 65, that energy directly impacts your physical health. Harvard Medical School research shows that relationship stress affects older adults more severely than younger people, because aging bodies are less resilient to the physiological effects of chronic stress. Your blood pressure rises when you're anxious about relationship issues. Your sleep quality decreases when you're worried about a partner's behavior or health. Your immune system weakens when you're dealing with emotional turbulence. These aren't just feelings. They're measurable biological responses that accelerate aging and increase disease risk. The correlation between relationship stress and health problems in seniors is well documented in medical literature. Studies from the Mayo Clinic show that seniors in high-stress relationships experience elevated cortisol levels that contribute to inflammation, increased blood sugar, weight gain, and cardiovascular problems. The emotional labor of managing another person's moods, expectations, and needs creates a constant low-level stress that your body never fully recovers from. Even good relationships require energy for communication, conflict resolution, and emotional support. After a certain age, that energy expenditure comes at the cost of your own health maintenance and stress management. Living alone allows you to maintain the calm, predictable environment that supports healthy aging. You don't argue about money, household chores, social obligations, or conflicting preferences. You don't worry about someone else's health crises or emotional needs. You don't lie awake at night wondering if you made the right choice in a partner. Your stress levels remain manageable because you're only responsible for your own well-being. Sylvia, 73, from Arizona, ended a relationship after noticing her blood pressure medications were less effective. Her doctor asked if anything stressful had changed in her life. Once she ended the relationship, her blood pressure stabilized again within weeks. Prioritize your health by eliminating unnecessary relationship stress from your life. If you're currently dating someone and notice increased anxiety, sleep problems, or physical symptoms, pay attention to what your body is telling you. Your health is more valuable than companionship. Make choices that support your physical and emotional well-being. Start today by evaluating whether any relationship in your life is costing you your health. Reason 4. No caretaker. Burden. New relationships after 65 often transform into caretaking situations within 5 to 10 years. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that health decline accelerates significantly after age 70, and one partner typically becomes the primary caregiver for the other. When you enter a relationship in your late 60s or 70s, you're statistically likely to spend a substantial portion of that relationship providing hands-on care for someone with declining health. This isn't pessimistic. It's realistic planning based on medical data about aging patterns and disease progression. The physical and emotional demands of caregiving are exhausting at any age, but they're particularly difficult when you're also dealing with your own age-related health changes. Gerontology research indicates that senior caregivers experience higher rates of depression, physical exhaustion, and their own health decline compared to non-caregivers in the same age group. You might be healthy and active now, but can you lift someone who's fallen? Can you manage another person's medications while managing your own? Can you handle the emotional strain of watching someone deteriorate while your own energy and strength are diminishing? These are real questions that seniors in new relationships face within a few years. Staying single means you preserve your energy and resources for your own health needs. You can focus on maintaining your independence as long as possible without being responsible for someone else's care. You can make decisions about your own living situation and care needs without considering another person's requirements. You can age at your own pace without being pulled into someone else's health crisis. Raymond, 76, from Florida, married at 70 and spent the next 4 years caring for his wife through Alzheimer's disease. He sacrificed his retirement plans, depleted his savings on care costs, and developed serious health problems himself from the stress and physical demands. Protect your retirement years by avoiding the caretaker burden entirely. If you feel lonely, build friendships and community connections that provide companionship without the overwhelming responsibility that comes with a romantic relationship at this age. Your health and independence matter too much to sacrifice them. Make this decision now, while you're still healthy enough to enjoy your freedom. Reason 5. Established social networks. Your friendships provide better health outcomes than romantic relationships after 65. Research published in the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors with strong friendship networks experience lower mortality rates, better cognitive function, and higher life satisfaction than those who prioritize romantic relationships. Friends offer emotional support, shared activities, and meaningful connection without the complications that romantic relationships bring. Your established social network is one of your most valuable assets for healthy aging, and protecting it should be a priority. New romantic relationships often disrupt existing social patterns in ways that harm your overall well-being. When you start dating someone, friend time gets sacrificed for couple time. Your weekly lunch with longtime friends gets cancelled because your partner wants to do something together. Your book club or volunteer work gets reduced because relationships demand attention and energy. Social psychology research shows that seniors who decrease their friendship activities to accommodate new romantic partners often experience social isolation when those relationships end. You've potentially damaged friendships that took decades to build, and rebuilding them isn't always possible. The companionship you're seeking in a romantic partner already exists in your friendship network. Friends share meals, travel together, attend events, provide emotional support, and offer meaningful conversation without any of the complications of romance. You don't worry about physical intimacy expectations. You don't navigate financial entanglement. You don't deal with family complications. You simply enjoy each other's company and support each other through life's challenges. Janice, 70, from Oregon, realized she was happier having weekly dinners with 3 close friends than she ever was during her year of dating. The friendships were easier, more authentic, and more fulfilling. Nurture the friendships you have instead of seeking romance. Schedule regular activities with friends. Join groups that align with your interests. Volunteer in your community where you'll meet like-minded people. These connections provide everything you need for a rich social life without the stress and complications of dating. Invest your social energy in friendships starting today. These relationships will sustain you far better than romance ever could. Reason 6. Dating dangers and scams. Senior dating sites and apps are hunting grounds for scammers who specifically target older adults. The FBI reports that romance scams targeting seniors resulted in losses exceeding $139 million in 1 year alone, with victims losing an average of $30,000 per incident. These criminals are sophisticated, patient, and extremely skilled at building trust before they strike. They create fake profiles, tell compelling stories, and manipulate emotions expertly. By the time victims realize they've been scammed, the money is gone, and the scammer has disappeared. Romance scams follow predictable patterns that work repeatedly because they exploit universal human desires for connection and companionship. The scammer initiates contact and quickly expresses strong feelings. They claim to live far away or be working overseas. They avoid meeting in person but maintain constant communication through messages. Eventually, they present a crisis, medical emergency, business problem, travel difficulty, and request money. Each request is followed by another until the victim has nothing left to give. Research from the Stanford Center on Longevity shows these scams cause not just financial devastation, but severe emotional trauma that affects victims' mental health for years. Beyond scams, legitimate senior dating presents real safety risks that younger people don't face as severely. Meeting strangers exposes you to potential theft, assault, or exploitation. Inviting someone to your home gives them access to your possessions and personal information. Even seemingly nice people can have hidden motives or dangerous behaviors. Howard, 74, from California, met someone through a dating site who seemed wonderful for 3 months. Then she began pressuring him to add her name to his house title. When he refused, she became verbally abusive and threatening. He had to get a restraining order. Don't become a statistic by avoiding the dating world entirely. The companionship you seek isn't worth the financial risk, safety concerns, and emotional trauma that modern senior dating involves. If you're currently using dating sites, delete your profiles today. If friends or family are encouraging you to date, explain these very real dangers. Your safety and security are more important than having a romantic partner. Protect yourself now by staying out of the dating pool completely. Reason 7. Family complications. Adult children, inheritances, and blended family dynamics create conflicts that destroy relationships and damage family bonds. Research from the Family Relations Journal shows that late-life remarriage or serious relationships generate significant family tension in over 60% of cases. Your adult children worry about their inheritance being diverted to a new partner. Your partner's children view you as a threat to their financial security. Holiday gatherings become awkward. Family traditions get disrupted. What should be the peaceful, uncomplicated years of enjoying your family becomes a minefield of competing interests and hurt feelings. The financial and legal complications of late-life relationships are complex and often irresolvable. When seniors enter new romantic relationships, questions arise about estate planning, beneficiaries, living arrangements, and financial responsibilities. If you own a home, should your partner move in? If you do, what rights do they have to your property? How do you protect your children's inheritance while being fair to a partner? These questions create family conflict that damages relationships with your children, the people who've been in your life far longer than any new romantic interest. Estate attorneys report that family disputes over late-life relationships frequently end in litigation that tears families apart permanently. Your relationship with your children and grandchildren matters more than romance at this stage of life. These are the people who'll be there when you need help. These are the relationships that bring lasting joy and meaning to your later years. Protecting these bonds should be your priority, and new romantic relationships threaten them in ways you might not fully appreciate until the damage is done. Denise, 68, from Illinois, started dating someone seriously, and her 3 adult children stopped calling regularly. They felt she was prioritizing a stranger over them. 2 years after that relationship ended, her relationship with her children still hasn't fully recovered. Preserve family harmony by keeping your life simple and your priorities clear. Your children and grandchildren are your legacy and your support system. Don't jeopardize those relationships for a romantic connection that statistically has a high likelihood of failure and a guarantee of creating family tension. Make the choice today to prioritize family over romance. These are the relationships worth protecting and nurturing. Reason 8. Health risks. Sexually transmitted disease rates among seniors are rising faster than in any other age group. The Centers for Disease Control reports that STD diagnoses in Americans over 65 have increased significantly over the past decade, with some infections rising by over 50%. Many seniors wrongly believe they're not at risk, but the data tells a different story. Senior dating, particularly through apps and sites, has created a sexually active senior population that faces real health risks they're often unprepared to address. The reasons behind rising senior STD rates are straightforward. Many seniors came of age before comprehensive sex education and aren't comfortable discussing sexual health or protection. Postmenopausal women don't worry about pregnancy and may not insist on protection. Erectile function changes mean some men avoid condoms. Senior living communities and active retirement areas create environments where dating and physical relationships are common. The combination of these factors creates perfect conditions for disease transmission. Medical research shows that older immune systems are less effective at fighting infections, meaning seniors face more severe consequences from STDs than younger people. Beyond STDs, physical intimacy at this age carries other health risks that younger people don't face. Heart attacks during physical exertion are more common in seniors. Physical injuries from falls or strain can occur. The stress and anxiety around new physical relationships can trigger health problems. Curtis, 72, from Washington, developed severe anxiety around dating expectations that led to panic attacks requiring emergency room visits. His doctor advised him to avoid the stress entirely. His health improved dramatically once he stopped trying to date. Your health isn't worth the risk that comes with senior dating and physical relationships. If you're currently dating, consider whether the potential health risks are worth the companionship you're seeking. There are safer ways to combat loneliness that don't expose you to disease or physical risk. Make your health your priority starting today by eliminating these unnecessary risks from your life. Your well-being matters more than romance. Reason 9. Time for personal growth. The years after 65 are for discovering who you are without anyone else's expectations or limitations. Psychological research from the University of California shows that life satisfaction in older adults correlates strongly with opportunities for self-expression and pursuing personal interests. For decades, you've defined yourself through work roles, family roles, and relationship roles. Now you have the chance to explore who you are as an individual. New relationships immediately impose expectations, obligations, and compromises that limit this crucial opportunity for authentic self-discovery. Living for yourself isn't selfish. It's developmentally appropriate for this life stage. Erik Erikson's widely respected theory of psychosocial development identifies the primary task of older adulthood as achieving integrity through reflection and self-acceptance. This process requires time, space, and freedom from external demands. You need room to pursue interests you've delayed for decades. You need mental space to reflect on your life and find meaning. You need freedom to try new things without explaining yourself to anyone. A romantic relationship fills your time and mental energy with someone else's needs, preventing the personal growth that makes these years truly fulfilling. Consider what you've always wanted to do but never had time for. Maybe you've wanted to paint, write, travel, volunteer, learn an instrument, or simply read without interruption. These aren't frivolous wishes. They're expressions of your authentic self that deserve attention and nurturing. When you're single, every hour is yours to use exactly as you wish. You can be spontaneous or planned, social or solitary, active or restful, based solely on what serves your well-being and personal growth. Lorraine, 67, from Minnesota, spent her first year after deciding to stay single learning photography. She now sells her work at local markets and has never been happier or more confident. Start living for yourself today by identifying one interest or activity you've always wanted to pursue. Schedule time this week to begin exploring it. These years are too valuable to spend them accommodating someone else's needs and preferences. You've earned the right to be authentically, unapologetically yourself. Embrace that freedom now and discover what's possible when you finally put yourself first. Being alone after 65 isn't settling. It's choosing peace, security, and authenticity over society's expectations. These 9 reasons aren't about giving up on happiness. They're about recognizing that happiness after 65 looks different than it did at 25 or 45. You're not lonely. You're finally free. Tell me in the comments, are you embracing the single life after 65, or did this video change your perspective? If these truths resonated with you or could help other seniors stop feeling pressured to find a partner, hit that like button and share this video. Subscribe for more honest conversations about life after 60 that nobody else is willing to have.